Good afternoon, Jori.
How's it going, Jason?
Good, how are you, man?
Excellent. Stoked to be here again.
Yeah, thanks for joining me once again on tour.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
2 years in a row.
It was last summer, right?
It was, like late May was when I was here. Yeah.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me about this tour. You've been on tour for a while already, right?
Yeah, about a month I have been away from quote-unquote home. Actually, I'm changing homes at the end of this tour.
That's right.
I already made the move from Minneapolis back to Bozeman.
Oh, you did?
I just have to unpack all my stuff once I get home. So, yeah. But it's been a blast so far. The majority of the cities I've played on this tour are cities I've never even been to before, so it was a really interesting
that's really
experience.
cool.
So, there's so much of the United States that I've never even experienced.
Yeah. Like stuff on the East Coast mostly?
Mostly East Coast, yeah.
Yeah. So did you go up to Maine and places like that?
I tried to when I was booking things, but a lot of that didn't pan out, unfortunately. So I'm going to try for next time. I want to get to Portland, Maine, because I have a bunch of buddies there.
I've never been up there, but I've always wanted to. Yeah.
I've heard really good things all around. So.
Yeah, I've heard there's some good venues up there, and I know a lot of those East Coast bands do really well going up to Maine and Rhode Island and, all of that. So
yeah,
that's awesome. So now you're doing the West Coast, you're doing Portland tomorrow? And
then on August 5th, we're doing Olympia, and then the 6th, I'm playing at the Highline in Seattle again, and then it's back to Montana for 2 more dates, and then I get to finally relax a little bit. So
nice.
Go.
Where are you playing in Montana?
I'm playing at Jester's Bar in Helena. It's divey as hell, but it's honestly might be my favorite bar in Montana.
Nice. Okay.
They have some sort of grant system where they have a guarantee, usually $100 or $150 per band.
Oh wow.
Book, which is kind of unheard of in Montana.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And a lot of buddies hang out in Helena, so it'll be really fun to just be back. It'll probably be a really small, intimate show.
But that's cool though.
Yep. And then the tour ends with the show at the filling station in Bozeman with my buddies Arkron Thodal.
Oh yeah,
I know those guys. I don't know if I've told you about this project before, but I have a joke band called Big Montana and the Swingin' D's.
Yeah, you with Jeffrey.
Yep.
Yeah, I know Jeffrey from Rose Gold.
Right. Yeah, I don't think he's actually playing with us currently. I've been away for a while, but I think we've adjusted a little bit, but still a lot of the same dudes though. So
I think we talked about that briefly on the last one. And that's awesome. That's cool. So last show in Bozeman, and then you're back home. Wow.
So
that's awesome. So you have a place in Bozeman and all that?
Yeah. So actually, my brother and his former roommate, they've been living together for several years, and they wanted something a little bigger, to see. Just for something more affordable, that they wanted to get a house, but maybe a third roommate might have been, something they want to bring into the mix, just so they could afford to live someplace nicer and bigger. And so, that really was a little thing in the back of my brain for a couple of months. I'm like, you know what? I miss my family. I miss Montana a lot. It'll be a good situation. Let's just do it. So that's awesome. They already have a place, and so my stuff's moved over there. I just gotta start kind of. I mean, a lot of it's kind of moved in already. So I'm just gotta
That's
readjust to living in Montana again. I'm really excited for it. I mean, the city's been cool, but I think just a simpler
existence.
Yeah, totally. I think it's going to be good for my headspace.
Yeah, that's good. How long were you in Minneapolis?
I was there for just about 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I've made that move from Bozeman to Minneapolis and back 6, maybe 7 times in my life.
Wow.
Yeah, when I graduated high school, I moved right to Minneapolis. I was there for 2 months, moved back.
No kidding, yeah.
And then moved back to Minneapolis for 9 months, and then moved to Missoula.
Wow, okay.
And then it was in Missoula for a year, and then moved back to Minneapolis, and it just kept going like that for quite some time.
Yeah.
Mostly because I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do.
Right.
And job opportunities in Minneapolis were easy.
Right, exactly.
I could just get a job same day in some warehouse,
anywhere, yeah.
A little bit harder in Missoula. But I was struggling with it because I've never really been a big fan of Minneapolis, and so I was always trying to get back to the mountains and get back to the nature.
Right, exactly.
But then I needed money, and so then I'd go back, and it was a struggle for a long time.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah, I mean, I think I wouldn't have been able to have this perspective if I hadn't been in Minneapolis the last 2 years, just appreciating the state of Montana so much. I kind of realized where I come from, how cool that is.
It's amazing. It's
amazing. State, so.
It's amazing.
Looking forward to coming back for a while at least. I don't know what the future holds.
Oh, sure, but that's great.
For now, I think I'd be pretty happy. So.
Yeah. But that's kind of why I landed in Portland.
Sure.
Once I found a place that was kind of this. It was like Montana in a way, but it has the city too. Had both things that I wanted, and I'm like, okay, this is my new home, and now I've been here fucking forever. But yeah, I'm excited for you. New start.
Yeah.
And on the tail of a new record. Somewhat on the tail of a new record.
Right. You meant talking about the Hyalithe one? Or
the previous.
The Bleakness of Our Constant.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Yeah. Because that's been out for...
Since October 27th, 2018.
Okay. Yeah. So pretty close to a year.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's flown by. Kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, last time you were here, you're talking about kind of putting finishing touches on it and things like that.
I was just about completely done with the post-production of it when I went on tour, so yeah.
That's fantastic. So yeah, tell me about the Hyalithe thing, because I don't really know what that is. I saw it mentioned, but I don't really know what that is.
Right, okay, so this is something that I've been chipping away at for I don't know, I want to say was it September? I can't remember what I put on the Bandcamp page, but maybe September of 2018 through June of this current year. Just kind of chipping away at this project. I wanted to try a completely different approach where I did something clearly more lo-fi and attempt more dissonance. I don't know how well that worked out, because I guess beautiful melodies just kind of happen
right
the way that I write, and I'm fine with that. But it's a really dark record for me. It's quite the statement. I intentionally didn't really put much polishing in the post-production. I didn't the way I recorded it was actually really primitive as well. I didn't even use a guitar amplifier. I had this little receiver box thing. You plug your guitar directly into it with a 1/4-inch jack, and it already sounds disgusting. And I put a Dan Electro Black Coffee distortion pedal. This is this $10 distortion pedal I found. Put it with that, and it's just this gross kind of I don't know, early 90s black metal sound.
That's awesome.
And
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah,
so it's not so Hyalithe, is it?
Hyalithe, yeah. It's actually inspired by Hyalite Canyon.
Okay, so when I saw you post that the other day,
right,
that's of course what I thought of immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
And I had a project a few years ago.
Actually, I have a story about this. So I just searched Hyalite just to see if there's any music related things at all. And sure enough, lo and behold, the only thing I saw was the Hyalite Canyon by Hyalith Eshar.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whoa, no kidding. Yeah.
Hi, Jason. Yeah. As soon as I saw that, I was like, Montana boy.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, Hyalite Canyon is one of my absolute favorite places on Earth.
Yeah.
It's crazy. For people that don't know, it's maybe hour south of, well, it depends on where you're going, I guess. It's a half hour south of Bozeman.
It's really not far at all. Yeah.
I mean, the mouth of it is 20 minutes, half hour, and but to get up to the lake is probably another 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Just stunning region. I used to live walking distance from the mouth of the canyon.
Oh, no kidding, really?
Over in that weird field area. I'm sure it's all subdivisions now, but back then.
Yeah, there's a lot popping up there now.
But man, I would go up there to do my homework after school.
Oh, cool.
And just sit by the lake. And my dad ran a camp for kids up there. When you go up to the lake and you can take a right into that kind of recreational area, or you can take a left and go around the lake.
Right. Yeah.
It's still there. There's a giant camp with all these cabins, and it's just right on that left. And it's amazing. So I'd spend summers up there a lot.
That's awesome.
And Palisade Falls and
right. I actually did that hike when I was there, just dropping my stuff off.
That's awesome. So my dad and we paved the trail up there.
Really?
Yeah, my dad was part of the Lions Club.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
And it wasn't just him and I, but it was a group of people.
But I was in that,
I was early teens.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Wow.
And spent the whole summer up there paving that trail to make it handicap accessible.
Yeah, that's amazing. I wonder how they did that, because it's kind of steep terrain.
It took a long time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it was great. So point being, I spent a lot of time up there. So it was really cool when I saw that name. I was that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, that was the hardest part, honestly, coming up with that, with the project, was coming up for the dang name for it.
That's always the hardest part for me.
I know how I feel, and I expressed it musically, but putting names or words to things is always the challenge for me.
Oh, so, totally. Yeah.
I'm so
bad at that. And visuals are really bad for me too.
Sure. Yeah.
But that's cool. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah,
so
it's quite the statement. It just came out a week and a half. I actually released it, as I said, right as I left Ramin's house.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I went to the Cultiva. It's a coffee shop in Lincoln.
Yeah.
Sat down, used their Wi-Fi, and just uploaded it, and bam, there it was. So
damn, that's awesome.
Funny.
That's great. Yeah, I forgot. We just spoke on the phone not too long ago from Ramin's house. No, you and I.
Right. Yeah, we were
just briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. How was that visit in Lincoln?
It was remarkable. It was really good timing, actually. He had just finished submitting all of his work for his dissertation and stuff, and so he could finally relax. And so right when I got there, he's like, I'm done. I'm not going to do anything tomorrow. Let's just relax. And that's what we did. It was awesome. So.
Yeah, that's great. He's been pretty occupied. And it's funny because typically we text quite a bit. Last few months, not so much.
Yeah, he's been a busy bee.
Been very, very busy. That's awesome. Yeah, we're going to Lincoln in like 2 weeks for his graduation.
That's right. I'm actually going to see if I can afford to hike down there just
nice,
real quick. Yeah, just make like a couple day trip.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good drive from Bozeman.
I think it's probably 14 hours.
Yeah, something like that. It's doable. But
right. Yeah, I mean, I drove from Minneapolis to Billings in one night last month, so that was not fun. But.
No, I've done that drive. That's I've done that Minneapolis to Bozeman or Minneapolis to Billings.
Yeah,
dozens of times when I was moving back and forth and just visiting on the weekends, and it can be brutal for sure. Well, cool. Again, thanks for joining me. Let's. You want to pull up a song, maybe?
Sure. All right, I'm throwing a wild card at you right away here.
I love it.
Here we go.
That beginning was rad.
Yeah, check this out right here.
Damn, this is really cool.
Yeah, this is like the grossest pop record. Just something about it. It's really...
It's so fuzzed out.
Dark, but it's charming. Yeah. You never heard this before?
I don't think I know this.
Okay.
I mean, it reminds me of a lot of like, shoegaze stuff.
Right, yeah.
It's so nasty sounding.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is the only record that sounds like this. The other ones are much more...
Oh, really?
Pretty...
Is this a current band?
They're still going right now, yeah. I haven't kept a close eye on them at all, so I don't actually know what their newest stuff is at all. This came out maybe, I want to say 2016, 2015.
Okay. Yeah, I have no clue what this is.
It's a male-female duo. Their voices are so similar though, like they pair just really well together. Yeah.
The guitar tone is just over the top.
Yeah, I really, really like it. Like when I first heard this, actually, it was on what's the man? I'm not a Bozemanite anymore. What's the local radio station there?
KGLT.
KGLT, right?
Yeah.
I heard this on KGLT late at night. I'm like, what in the hell is this? This is outrageous. But then I Shazammed it on my phone. I'm like,
oh, really?
This is interesting. Yeah, well, lucky I had that. 'Cause I would have been searching for a long time. But yeah. Really cool record. Their voices are really pretty, but there's some really heavy, very dark lyrical themes, and the music all around this album. This is a really, really great record from start to finish, I think. Yeah.
It reminds me of... I was about to say Slow Dive. This doesn't remind me of Slow Dive now at all.
Right,
but the previous part reminds me of Slow Dive.
Right.
Yeah, I really dig this.
Yeah. This is the Ravenettes.
Wow, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, okay.
So it's just like a total random find on KGLT, and
yeah,
wow, that rarely happens for me.
Right? Yeah, same. Yeah.
It's like usually I'm like, okay, like whatever background music, but it's pretty rare for me to discover something like that.
Oh,
like from a radio station.
I usually don't even have the radio on because I know that I'm not going to really be
exactly.
Yeah.
I rarely listen to the radio. Yeah. Well, that's really cool. Do you know where they're from?
Oh man, I want to say, like it's Denmark. Does that sound about right?
Okay.
They're somewhere in Western Europe, I think. So.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I never would have guessed that. Yeah. I just it sounds American to me.
Sure. Yeah.
But I can see that kind of like Danish, almost like Mew, you know.
Yeah,
type of thing.
Such a great band.
Right?
Yeah.
I just discovered them fairly recently.
Yeah. I was listening to a previous episode where you were talking about it. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
I love Mew.
Yeah.
But at first it was kind of one of those things where I listened, I'm like, this is cool, but not really my thing.
Right.
And then like a certain song hits, and I'm like, oh shit, this is brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me, some of their songs aren't quite as good.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Other songs are just transcendent.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're so good.
Right. Yeah, remember, did you play Zookeeper's Boy?
Yeah.
That's such an awesome song.
On Jesse's episode, I think.
Yep.
So, speaking of Minneapolis.
Okay, yeah.
When I lived in Minneapolis, early to mid 90s, this band played all the time in Minneapolis. And my friend one time was like, hey, come to the Uptown and check out this band. And I was like, okay, whatever. I have nothing else to do.
Sure.
And didn't expect anything. And they quickly became one of my favorite local bands. They're not metal or anything like that, but they have like an accordion, and they're multi-instrumentalists, and they would play all over Minneapolis. And the singer was from New York.
I think I might know who this is.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah.
Then once I moved away, I lost track of him, and I haven't heard of him since. But just the other day, my wife was like, "Oh, do you remember this band?" I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah!" So I started listening to him again. Cool. So if you know this, I'm gonna be really, really happy.
Yeah, I'm curious. I need to hear their. Well, maybe not actually.
No?
Their headlights on, traffic, TV, radio. Wow, ice. Is that nice?
Well, maybe. I've only heard a few of the band I'm thinking of. I've only heard a few of their songs. This isn't Dark, is it?
No.
No, okay, that's what I was thinking.
That's what you're thinking of? Okay. Yeah. This is actually not the song I wanted to play. So
is that right? Okay.
Let's try this one.
Jumping Ship.
Yep.
This is rad.
Yeah.
All right.
We ended up just following them around Minneapolis, and we saw them every time they would play because they were just so energetic and weird, and play like xylophones and shit. And
was this in the 90s sometimes when you were seeing them?
Yeah, it was like 94, 95, 96, something like that.
Man, I really don't know who this is.
I don't know.
I wonder if they're even around anymore. Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't know. They're called Tulip Sweet and Her Trail of Tears.
Okay, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Cool.
They were super fun in Minneapolis for quite some time, and then, like I said, I moved away and never heard of them again.
Yeah.
But he has this really charismatic, like, front woman, and the band would like the guitarist would pick up the bass, and then he'd like go to the drums and start playing the drums, and they played musical instruments, and it was amazing. It was such a cool show. And she dressed in these ridiculous clothes, and yeah, like really like played it up.
She has kind of like a little bit of like an Amanda Palmer
voice. Yeah. I kind of assume that this woman was influenced by Amanda Palmer.
Sure.
But yeah. I saw Amanda Palmer a few years ago, well, like 10 years ago, and it was fantastic.
That's cool, I bet. Was it just her and piano, or was it...
No, actually, do you know the band Stratosphere?
I don't think so. I never heard the band, the Dresden Dolls. That's how I got into her. But.
Yeah. I wasn't very familiar with Amanda. Like, I knew who she was.
Yeah.
But the show I saw, a Stratosphere were her backup band.
Oh, okay.
And so she had a full band behind her. And a Stratosphere is members of Secret Chiefs 3. They were on The End for a long time.
Okay.
The drummer was the drummer for Sculptured for a record.
No kidding. Okay.
Yeah. So they're just like insane musicians. And it was a hell of a show. I follow her on Facebook and Instagram, and she has a lot of good things to say a lot of the time, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah. Kind of dissolves into some keyboard madness here. Production on this is so weirdly separated.
It
sounds like they're playing in different rooms.
Right. Kind of sterile, but it works.
It has a certain charm to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. I love that. It's all about the mod wheel. All right, yeah, so that's Tulip Suite.
Tulip Suite. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm going to deep and dig into that a little bit.
Yeah, it's mostly YouTube at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right, lay one on me.
All right. I don't think this matches anything we've done so far stylistically.
That's great.
Oddity-wise, I think it's right up there.
I dig the swing. That's really cool.
Totally, yeah.
I'm digging this so far.
Yeah, this is an interesting group. Look for the vocals here.
Vocals are such a make it or break it for me. I'm always hesitant.
I'm curious what you think. I think it's coming up here.
I like the music a lot, though. It's not what I expected at all. Whoa. It's so understated.
Yeah, right? It's definitely not mixed very well.
No. It has a certain like early 90s like Norwegian charm where
Definitely.
this too kind of sounds like everything's recorded like they're in different apartments or something.
Separated. Yeah. You can hear that especially with the headphones on.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is from 1997.
Okay.
Pretty sure Swedish. Could be wrong.
It doesn't sound familiar to me at all.
Okay. Yeah.
97, and that would have been my jam. I would have been into a lot of stuff.
This might have been a really easy one to miss because their entire discography is just this one demo. It's 2 songs. That's it.
One demo, 2 songs.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, easy to miss.
Yep.
And you say Sweden, you think?
I think so.
Okay.
Sweden or Norway.
Yeah, I don't know what this is, but I do like this.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I mean, it's kind of... It's a little bit problematic here and there. It's like, I try not to let productions bug me so much.
Yeah, totally.
But like, aside from the vocals, it reminds me a lot of Dismal Euphony.
Okay. I don't
From
know if
Norway. They were like
know them.
early 90s.
Okay.
But a lot of time they had that kind of like gallopy thing going on.
Sure.
And yeah.
When I first heard this, it kind of reminded me a little bit of like, it gave me some like Berg Todd vibes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I dig this though. It's odd.
It's very different. Yeah. There's no harsh vocals at all. So, yeah.
What is it?
They're called Bach des Suvfiel.
Yeah.
4 words. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I should have known.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
That's awesome. So did you end up getting the demo, or is this just purely online?
Actually, it's funny because Ben Smasher, I stayed with him in Iowa City. We did a little video together, and we were just listening to stuff down in his CD dungeon.
Oh,
like,
that's cool.
Here's an odd one. I'm like, whoa, I like this a lot.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's really cool. So you just discovered it recently?
Recently, yeah, just
That's
a couple
awesome.
weeks ago, actually. So
That's great.
Yeah.
I dig that. I really like that style. I mean, I think a lot of that's probably just based in nostalgia for me, but you know, like early to mid 90s was the heyday of metal for me. That's, you know,
Totally. Yeah.
93, I was 18 and just
No kidding.
eating
Wow.
that shit up,
Yeah.
you know, and when stuff like that came out, it was just mind blowing.
Sure.
So
I can't even imagine. Like, I mean, I was only 2 years old at that time.
in 93.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, 93 was like the year, especially for death metal.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Cynic's Focus came out in 93.
everything came out in 93. Yeah.
Holy cow.
So it was a great time to be that age too, and just like absorb that. And 93 is when I moved from Bozeman to Minneapolis, and I would go to the Mirage and see the death metal shows like
no kidding.
on a
Wow.
weekly basis.
Cool.
So saw tons of bands right after their prime. But it was still cool.
Yeah.
Like Entombed on Wolverine Blues, and
no kidding. Wow.
Carcass on Heartwork, and Cathedral on Ethereal Mirror, and you know, a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, that whole sound is very, very nostalgic for me and warms my heart for sure. Yeah, that's great stuff. Cool. I'm glad you played me that. That was awesome.
Yeah. The other song is just as good but different, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah,
different,
that's cool. All right, so I'm gonna do something a little different here.
Cool.
So I have started taking listener suggestions. So I'm going to try one of those. Yeah.
Cool.
Makes my job a little bit easier.
Sure.
And it also just kind of throws a wrench into it and makes things a little bit more interesting. So I got this email from some guy named Jason Harris. Cool name.
Yeah, that's a good name. Yeah. I know someone named Jason.
I know only one person named Jason.
Oh, really?
I think
2 people. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I know any other Jasons but myself.
Really?
Anyway, cool. Jason Harris says, hey, Jason, longtime Agalock fan and Karada devotee. I posted on the Karada Facebook page quite a bit while the album was in the works. I also met you briefly in Ann Arbor years ago when Agalock did a show at the Blind Pig. Hands down, the worst Agalock show ever.
Oh, no.
Yes. I enjoy the podcast, so I thought I would offer a few suggestions. He gives me 2. I'm just going to play 1.
Cool.
I've never heard of either of these.
Really?
All right, Jason, lay it on us. See what's going on here. I like the name of this band.
That's not what I expected at all.
No.
I was waiting for some just big hit.
Yeah, me too. I'm digging this so far.
This is cool. Kind of gazy.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, wow. Ping pong.
Digging the bass for sure.
It seems really far back in my mix, at least. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they singing in English?
I can't tell.
Yeah. They don't sound like an American band to me.
They aren't. I can tell from this Bandcamp page.
Okay. Huh.
I kind of love this.
This is really cool. Is that it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I dig this.
Really springy bass tone. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Wow.
Yeah, really neat production choices for sure.
Yeah, that's what interests me the most, I think, is the ping-ponging and the bass tone. And
yeah, it's really controlled, though. A lot of that kind of stuff can get out of hand really fast.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like the more like metalcore bands with synths and stuff that just deters me immediately.
Yeah, it detracts so much.
Yeah.
Or it can, anyway.
Right, yeah. It's subtle enough in this track. It's cool.
This is really cool. Any guesses?
Oh, man. No, not at all, really.
Yeah. They're called The Dead Mantra.
The Dead Mantra. Okay.
And they're from France.
No kidding, okay.
Yeah, this is really cool. Good job, Jason Harris. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. I dig. I'm going to look these guys up.
It was mastered by my buddy James Plotkin.
Oh, is that right?
That's cool. Yeah, that was really cool. I enjoyed that. Weird. The Dead Mantra.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, nice. Okay, I know what I'm going to play. I'm just not sure how to find it.
Sure. And I should think about what I'm going to play next. I have no idea.
Here we go.
This is really cool so far.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite records last year.
Was it really? Okay. Just the way it's starting off, I really have no idea what genre this even is. It's really exciting.
It gets weird.
Cool.
It may be possible for you to recognize the vocalist. He's done some pretty high-profile stuff.
I'm getting a lot of different things from his voice.
I can guarantee you that you've listened to him at some point.
Yeah?
Well, maybe not guarantee, but it'd be surprising if you hadn't heard him at some point. Yeah. The entire record is so strange and diverse and like hesitantly melodic at times and then just like overtly noisy, and it's fantastic. Like this song, the entire time it sounds like they're about to play, you know? It's like it sounds like they're tuning and stuff. It's almost like an orchestra, like tuning up. Mm-hmm.
Does he always sound like this on other projects? The vocalist?
Kinda, but he's one of those guys too that he does a lot of different stuff.
Right.
It's definitely kind of out of left field.
Sure.
It's not like a vocalist you think about every day.
Right.
At least I don't. Any ideas?
Oh man, I mean, I kind of got some like Mr. Bungle vibes a little bit almost.
Yep. Definitely like with the cymbal work, like mixed with the layers and stuff, kind of reminds me of Bungle.
And just the way his voice was kind of just up and down, just all like really animated and strange. And I got like kind of like Mr. Doctor vibes from.
Yep. A lot of misters here.
Devil, yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, no, unfortunately, it's neither one of those.
No, right. I didn't think so.
It's a band called Gnaw.
Gnaw. Okay.
They're a New York City band created by Alan Dubin of Connate and Old.
Okay. Yeah, I heard Old from Radical Research. Actually.
Oh yeah, Radical Research again.
Yep.
Okay.
Good job, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Alan, who looks like Dio and sings like a demon.
Right. Yeah.
And then Dana Schechter is also in it. She's been in everything from Insect Arc to I can't even think of all the stuff she's been in.
Yeah.
She's been in so many things. What's the name? Bee and Flower, Angels of Light.
No, sorry. Oh, Bee and Flower?
Yeah. Yeah, Bee and Flower, Angels of Light.
Okay.
Yeah, worked with Giraffe from Swans. A lot of crazy stuff.
Cool.
But yeah, it's a fantastic record. And the record is called, I'm going to see if I can remember what it's called, or look it up. Cutting Pieces, and it's great. It's actually a 2017 record from Translation Loss. It's awesome.
Gotcha.
And it's disturbing and haunting, and it'll make your stomach upset.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm really keen to hear more, actually.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. All right. Did you figure out something else?
I'm still pondering. I'm trying to think here. There's a lot I could play. I'm just not sure what you're going to like, actually.
It's not about it's not about what I like.
Okay, here we go.
All right, cool.
Sure if you've heard this yet, but they're...
I can't tell yet.
You're right, yeah. This takes a minute to get going, but this band is really special to me for certain reasons that I can get into later, but yeah.
Okay. Recent band?
So this came out in January last year, 2018.
Okay.
And this year I think it was this year they started becoming a live project.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah.
So they made the record and then started playing live after that?
Yeah, it was just, so basically the record is just two dudes.
Okay.
And then they found a drummer. And,
right, okay.
Because I can just say it now. So, like, basically, these are my buddies.
Okay.
In Minneapolis.
Okay. Don't tell me yet then.
Right.
Yeah, I have no idea.
This part's really cool. I like this beat.
Yeah, the kick drum kind of makes that part for me.
Yeah, totally.
This is cool.
Yeah, they're not bad. So, like, they're really up and coming. I think they're working on new stuff right now. This is Sphere. T-V-A-E-R.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my buddies Marcus and Adam.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Actually, really fun thing is that when I started my tour, they came with me to Madison and Chicago.
Okay.
But their bass player couldn't come because of certain reasons, so I just played bass for them. So I played two sets both those shows.
Oh, wow.
And it was really fun.
That's awesome.
I got to play these songs with them.
That's really cool.
They're all around awesome people.
So what's the band name again?
They're called Sphere.
Okay, and how do you spell it?
T-V-A-E-R. It's like,
okay.
I can't remember what.
Sphere, yeah.
what dialect it is, but it means like sullen in a different language. So,
yeah. So this is a drum machine?
This is, yeah, our friend Eric plays drums live. He's really good. So,
awesome.
Yeah. It's a total pleasure to be able to play with him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
My own stuff too, so yeah.
Where'd you play in Madison?
We played at the Wisco. It's this tiny little
I've
place.
Heard of that.
Yeah, there's no stage, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We packed it in. We did pretty well.
That's great.
Yeah. Then we were at Reggie's in Chicago.
Yeah, I love
really
Reggie's.
Fun. Yeah, it's a super cool place. They were really good to us there. So.
Yeah, I played Reggie's many, many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really cool. I dig this.
For sure. Yeah, it kind of rides the coattails of, some like early black metal, but it has its own flavor too.
Yeah.
Their songwriting is pretty cool. Something I admire about these guys is that they just do a small handful of copies for their issues and stuff, and then they're like, yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's cool.
I have one of the first cassettes they ever made.
Right.
There's like I think 6 or 7 of them is all.
That's great. Yeah, I dig that too.
That's really great. Yeah,
that's cool. So they only have the one released right now?
They have this. It's a 3-song EP, and then they have a demo. And then they have this live recording when there was the Blood Moon last fall.
Yeah, I remember that.
They did a recording at their studio, I think, that night. So that was, so it's pretty
very cool.
Too. Yeah.
I like it. It's interesting programming for a drum machine. Like it's not readily apparent this is a drum machine. Like sometimes you can be like,
exactly.
Like you can kind of tell, but like the cymbals aren't dead giveaway. Sometimes the cymbals you can just really tell from the decay and like it sounds good.
It's really good. Yeah. I don't actually know what software they used or anything.
Yeah.
It's kind of a thrash metal.
That's cool.
Right.
I dig their guitar tone too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, this band kind of like gives me hope for the Minneapolis scene. There's a lot of good stuff going on.
There sure is,
They're trying to like bring people to get like good bands together to have like a really solid show.
Yeah.
As often as we can. So we did this show May 11th at the Nomad World Pub.
Yeah, I've been there.
That place, yeah. And it's a recent development booking metal shows there, but we did a show May 11th and we had an insane turnout. Like for a local show, each band made like almost $300 just from the door. It was really, really cool.
That's great.
Yeah, it was Spare, my buddy Jake's band, Circadian Ritual.
Yeah,
it was
I know
Burning,
Jake.
If you know Burning.
Yep, Miss Tanner's band.
Yep, right.
Yep.
And then who else was there? It was Sunless.
Okay, I've heard of them.
Band. Yeah, they're really good. So that was a really fun night. So.
Yeah.
And Eneferens played too, yeah.
That's awesome. When I lived in Minneapolis, there wasn't very much good music going on. I mean, there's a lot of hardcore and a lot of punk, which I loved, but the metal scene was not very interesting. Early to mid to late 90s, there's a couple good death metal bands.
Sure.
Nothing too noteworthy though. And then, so it's funny, like, then years after I leave Minneapolis, I become friends with Tanner, and then I become friends with Austin, and now I know more people in Minneapolis than I ever did when I lived there, which is
crazy.
Yeah, it's hilarious. So yeah, and there's so much good music there. It's always been a really strong town for like hardcore and punk, but
totally, yeah.
Yeah, when I lived there, it was like nobody was doing metal. Like I said, there's maybe 2 or 3 death metal bands, but they're really generic, really cookie cutter.
Right.
And just nothing too interesting. But yeah, now years later, it's like there's so much cool stuff going on.
Yeah, there's a lot happening.
Yeah.
People just need to kind of support each other and like bring it in.
That's the hard part. It's hard anywhere.
It's hard,
you know. There's always drama and there's always ego and weird shit like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's cool. I didn't know about that show. I went to Nomads. It's probably over 20 years ago.
Oh, no kidding,
now.
really?
Yeah, a long time ago was the last time I was there. Is when I was living there. I think it was Nomads, isn't it? Like in Uptown.
It's like Cedar Riverside. It's like right across from the Cedar Cultural Center. And okay. It's really close to where the Triple Rock used to be. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Now.
Street,
Yep. Definitely by that coffee shop. I can't think of.
There's Hard Times Cafe.
Hard Times. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I used to work just a few blocks from Hard Times, so I spent a lot of time in that little area.
Cool.
But I'd never been to the Triple Rock until Agalloch played there.
Oh, no
40
kidding.
years ago,
Wow.
or whatever that was. Yeah, that was the first time ever being there, which is kind of strange.
Yeah, right. I'm really sad that place closed. The only show I was able to actually go and see there, the only one I had time for, was actually my friend's band from Montana.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's funny.
Ranges, their post-rock band. It was really cool, but like, man, as soon as I got there a couple months later, you know, that place closed down. So
yeah, I mean, it was just funny. I lived in Minneapolis for probably a total of 8 years, and just for whatever reason, there was just never any reason for me to go to Triple Rock. When I was there, a lot of metal shows came through, like tons of metal shows, but they're always at the Mirage, and the Mirage has been gone forever now.
Right, yeah.
But that was a killer place to see shows. And then sometimes at the Uptown, the Fine Line was really cool, but that was more like high-end stuff.
Yeah, bigger stuff.
Yeah. And then a couple small bars, but a lot of time I lived in Minneapolis, I wasn't, I was underage, so I couldn't get into a lot of those shows anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So I had to sneak into a couple shows at the Mirage back in the day. Voivod, I think I had to sneak into.
Oh, did you?
That was really cool.
Cool.
On the Outer Limits tour.
Yeah, wow.
With Damn the Machine. It was a really strange bill, but it was still cool. Yeah. So yeah, it's just funny now. It's like I've got all these friends in Minneapolis and I never see them.
Right, yeah.
And way more than I did when I lived there.
That's what a deal.
Yeah. I know, like Tanner, he's one of my favorite people in this world.
Oh yeah, he's phenomenal, yeah.
I just never get to see him. It's so funny. But we have done the cross-reference. Like, he was working at, the fuck is the name of that record
Extreme
store?
Noise?
No.
No. In Minneapolis?
Yeah. Pulling the stuff out of my brain from so long ago is hard. Don Decker's record store.
It was an Electric Fetus, was it?
Nope.
No.
Nightfall.
Nightfall, okay.
He was working at Nightfall, and I came in there once. Apparently, like I didn't know who he was.
Sure.
He was a teenager, but he remembers like it was like right after Pale Folklore came out, and I was living in Minneapolis when Pale Folklore came out, and he recognized me, and so like we became friends. Obviously, years later. And then one time he told me, like, yeah, one time I was at the record store and you walked in and, like, you were looking through the records. So he's like, we have met once, but it was, like, 10 years ago.
Right, yeah. That's so nuts.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. Well, cool. I have something weird to play.
Cool.
Hi, Albel.
Hi.
What's going on?
Are you gonna have dinner with us?
I'll be done in, like, probably half hour.
Okay, I think we're gonna have dinner now.
Yeah, go for it. Okay.
Oh, do you know where Mama is?
I don't. She's probably in her room working.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I need to get one of those, like, now recording signs.
Right, little illuminated signs.
Yeah. Okay. So this is kind of weird. I've never listened to this song before.
Okay.
I'm playing it because for some reason on Metal Archives, I am credited for playing lead guitars on this song.
Yes, I know this band, yeah.
Yeah, I know the band. I've just never listened to this. And today it made me think, like, I should listen to this and see what the deal is. A few people that actually know me fairly well actually believed that this was true, which I
is that
find
right?
ridiculous because I mean, I can't play guitar at all. Like, I
Yeah.
can't even, like, I can play, like, Blitzkrieg Bop maybe in a Ramones song
Right.
here and there, but I cannot play guitar at all. So, and I'm assuming this is a decent guitar solo on here. So,
Right.
yeah, I want to play this, just check it out and see this guitar solo that I did that I don't remember.
Totally, yeah. Oh, this song. Oh, okay. Wow.
This
Yeah.
is...
That's quite the credit, Jason.
Is that good? Okay.
Totally. This is Grand Morbid Funeral, right?
Yeah,
This album.
this is My Torturer by Bloodbath off
Yeah.
of Grand Morbid Funeral. I guess somebody told me they looked it up in the liner notes,
Oh, yeah.
and the credit for the guitar solo on this song, it just says Nothing. And since I used to have a band called Nothing,
Right.
it's got mixed up somehow that I did the
Wait,
lead
it was
work on
blank
this.
or it said nothing?
It said Nothing, like
Really?
the actual word, Nothing.
Okay, interesting.
Like guitar leads by Nothing. And so then people attributed that to me.
Interesting. Okay.
I figured it'd be taken off of Metal Archives by now, but it hasn't.
Right. Did you like report the error or anything? On
No,
there? Yeah.
because it's hilarious.
Right. Yeah. That's funny. I'm still on the fence about his vocals with Bloodbath.
This is Nick Holmes, right?
Yeah. I love Nick Holmes, but like, it's an interesting application for him. Like,
Yeah.
I think that after like Michael Ackerfeld and Peter Takren being in this band, I'm just like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard.
He's really up against a lot. So those
Big
guys are
shoes to fill.
masters.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember playing this at all.
Really?
I must have just been... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you are. Interesting choice using the neck pickup too. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
I know what I'm
very
doing.
few people do that anymore.
Yeah, good job, Jason.
Yeah, solid. Yeah.
Nice solo. I have a pretty good Bloodbath story, actually. I think it was at Summer Breeze a few years ago. Agalok was playing, and it was a really surreal night. We basically had to sit in this field for like all day long, waiting to go on.
Yeah.
And we were playing right before Death. And on the opposite stage, like 300 yards away, Amorphous was playing Tales from a Thousand Lakes in its entirety.
Wow.
And we got off the stage, got hauled away as Death was setting up. We hung out with Gene and like all those guys.
Yeah, no kidding.
And
Cool.
yeah, they were really, really good guys, really nice.
That's what I've heard.
And so we played our like 30-minute set or whatever in front of the most people we've ever played to ever. It was like
Really?
15,000 people we played to.
Yeah.
And then Death got on. They launched into Pull the Plug. Like everything was very surreal. Then we're on this like, they have like this bus to take us back to our place.
Right.
And we go by Amorphous playing Tales from a Thousand Lakes, and we're all like, oh my god, this is like so crazy.
Yeah.
We have to get back to our bus. We get back to our bus, and then we proceed to see Bloodbath going into they have like these portable showers.
Oh yeah.
And it was like all the guys from Bloodbath going into the showers just covered in blood, and they're just ruining these showers. And all the other bands are like, dude, like there's fake blood everywhere. Like I'm just trying to get it off. I just don't want this on me, and now your fake blood is everywhere.
Yeah.
And they were just like in the showers like forever trying to get that shit off, and then everybody else would walk in there and be like, there's shit all over the floor. And so like everybody had fake blood all over their feet because other bands were going in there and showering too, and it was pretty funny. I missed them. It would have been cool to see.
Right.
But yeah, so that's my handiwork as a guitarist, my one and only.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
it's pretty good.
Solid. I mean, one and done.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm going to play guitar, I'm going to do it once for Bloodbath. All right. I think we have time for one more each. You up for that?
Yeah. Let me see here. Make it count here.
Make it count. Play the best song you've ever heard in your life.
Wow.
That I've never heard of, too.
This is from arguably like my favorite record of the last couple of years. So
okay.
It's definitely not what you'd expect. All right, here we go. To me, it's not even a long song. Here we go.
Yeah. I have no idea what it is. That's cool.
The production on this record is just, it's really, really well done. Nothing's overdone at all. It's like what it needs to be.
Dropping you forever dissolving. Look at us revolving in a glass intact and trapped, and you can keep it all at bay always, and I was like the way. But
it's really interesting.
There's a lot going on. I mean, they're definitely a pop band, but like I almost call it like progressive pop. There's just I don't know.
It's very Bjorky to me,
for sure.
And I worship Bjork.
Oh, totally.
She's one of my absolute favorites.
Remarkable. I think her voice is just perfect. She has such control, even though it's so breathy. And like, I had the chance. I saw them at 7th Street Entry when I first moved to Minneapolis, and it was maybe one of the best things I've ever seen in my entire life. They were just incredible. They actually had a live drummer along with the electronics as well. It was really cool.
I have no idea what this is.
Oh, really?
I like it a lot, though.
I can't tell you how many hundreds of times I've listened to this album. It's like really, really important one. Like currently in my life.
So it's a couple years old.
2017.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're from Florida. Just strange.
Yeah, it's not what I would have expected at all.
They're a group called 100 Waters.
Never heard of them.
Spelled out HUND. Yeah.
Okay.
100 Waters.
Wow.
Really, really cool band.
Is this their only record?
They have one before this. I think they have an EP before that as well. But this one, I mean, I feel like the record previous to this one, it's called The Moon Rang Like a Bell. It kind of gets there. It takes you places. But like I think this one, like they just totally found their sound and just took off with it. And it's brilliant. But
I like this a lot.
Oh, yeah? No kidding.
No, stuff like this is way up my alley.
For sure.
I don't know a lot about it or
I don't know
a
how
lot
to
of
find
different artists.
Right. It's hard
like
to find
this.
more things like this because I don't know what to search for, but yeah.
I'm pretty picky about stuff like this.
Yeah, right.
Like I said, Bjork is really important to me, but I love stuff like Fever Ray and The Knife. And
The Knife is great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so good. And this type of stuff kind of reminds me of that.
Right.
Yeah, so I really dig stuff like this a lot.
Cool. I like that it edges on being dancey, but it's still not really.
No.
They don't let you.
Yeah, you might get into it for a second and then it's like washed out.
Yeah, it's like, even though it's a lot of it is really upbeat. It's like still one of the most depressing records.
Yeah, I love
lyrics
that.
are really vulnerable and like
totally
really weird, like weirdly relatable to like what was going on in my life when it came out.
Nice.
It's really cool. Yeah.
What's that? Are we breaking up?
Her voice is great.
Yeah, super
That's
cool.
really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I really dig that. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I hope you listen to the whole record.
I'll check it out. All right, my last one. Short and sweet. Here we go.
Boy.
My last song.
Oh, you son of a bitch. It's one of my favorite artists of all time.
Me too. Obviously, I played this because I know that you love him as well.
Yeah.
Massive
fan.
Yeah, he's, in my opinion, one of the greatest songwriters in the last few decades. You know, he's just...
I would not argue with that, yeah.
And there's something about this song in particular, the subject matter, the way it's delivered, the really delicate piano in the background. It gives me chills. It's perfect.
It's kind of ballsy as fuck, too.
Yeah.
Like just talking about John Wayne Gacy Jr., like...
And singing it like this,
Right.
you know, it's so brilliant. His voice is so great. Yeah. You know,
so vulnerable.
I have to admit that when Carrie and Lowell came out, I was unimpressed.
Really?
And it took me a few listens, and now I love it. Yeah.
Crazy. Immediately, like I just knew that it was the Sufjan record I've always wanted.
Really?
Like, it's definitely my favorite by far. But
it's hard for me to pick a favorite.
Sure.
But I discovered him through the Danielson family. Do you know that whole connection about the Danielson family? I talked about it on a recent podcast.
I'm not sure if I do actually. Yeah.
Danielson family is this. They're a band. They're literally a family in New Jersey.
Okay.
And it's Daniel Smith and like his wife and his sister and his brother and his other sister, and they make some of the most bizarre, proggy, pop, crazy, over-the-top Christian crap that you'll ever hear.
Sure, okay.
But it's insanely good, but
Really?
it's really hard to swallow.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I won't talk about it too much because like 2 podcasts ago I went through this whole spiel.
Yeah. I'll just go back and listen, yeah.
It's on the one with Ron from KO Dot.
Cool, okay, yeah.
And he knew about Sufjan. He didn't know about Danielson. And so I played Danielson and talked about it a little bit.
Cool.
But that's how I got introduced to Sufjan, because he was a member of Danielson family.
Right.
And when I was living in Minneapolis, I became a huge fan of Danielson family. And then when Sufjan went off to do his own stuff, I was like, I'm going to see what's up with this guy.
Sure.
And now, of course, Sufjan's like way more successful than Danielson. But Danielson, again, is very challenging. Like start and stop on a dime.
Really curious.
He sings really high-pitched.
Yeah. Cool.
They're one of my favorite bands for sure. They're just so challenging.
No kidding. Okay.
But like over the top Christian.
Yeah.
Like songs are about not swearing.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I mean it's really interesting stuff.
Yeah, Sufjan, what a guy.
Yeah. If you get the chance, watch the Danielson documentary. It's called A Joyful Noise, and there's a lot of Sufjan in there.
Okay,
and,
cool. I feel like I've seen that somewhere. Like I just like saw it online somewhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of Sufjan in there, and it talks about the history and how they got together.
Okay.
And all that.
Cool.
And just because I'm going to play not a song, I'm just going to play a snippet of Danielson Family so you can hear what they sound like. They are wholly unique. Oh, shit. Of course, Spotify has none.
They're not on there. Yeah.
Not on there at all. Okay, this is one of my favorite Danielson songs. It's not that weird, but you get the gist.
Okay.
Yeah.
I put your name on the ballot 'cause you should run, though you don't want to.
Right? And this is literally, they're all family, like extended family.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Truly and you.
We'll grant just one social skill, share a gesture of goodwill.
Very interesting and almost like
Yeah.
almost comes like just tech like sonically it almost comes across as like sarcastic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And like I said, this is one of their more straightforward songs.
Really?
A lot of them are.
There's already some real odd things in it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something about it though. It's so different and interesting and fascinating. This is an older one. This will show you some of his vocals, how he normally sings. Right? It's weird.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
I like it, but it's also kind of painful.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, so this is the stuff that, like, that's how I got into Sufjan, is from this band.
No kidding. Okay. Is that him playing the banjo? Or is that...
I don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to do some research.
Yeah. Right.
All right, you get the idea.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's A No-No by the Danielson family. Mm-hmm. It's pretty great. So usually, end of the show, if you want to play something of your own.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great opportunity to play a track from the new Hyalithe record.
Perfect.
Let's do it. All right, so I think I'll choose this one. This is the track called Pine. This is from my brand new record called As If Sunlight Could Warm the Deceased by Hyalithe. It's brand new. It's just me, just another one-man project. Yeah, here we go. I won't say much else about it.
Cool, here we go. That was awesome.
Thank you.
That was really, really great. I dug that.
Yeah.
The production really lends itself to the material. I really like that.
Yeah. It's a much different approach than anything I've ever done before.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
but that's great. Be able to like try something new, and the vocals are fantastic.
Yeah, I definitely ruined my voice for a couple of days.
Yeah, I bet. It was way harsher than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
But it fits everything so perfectly. That's great. I'm really stoked about that.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What are the plans for that? Do you have more plans?
Well, the original plan was to release it before I went on tour, but that didn't happen because I wound up being so busy. But so it's released on all streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and stuff. It's on Bandcamp.
Great.
I think once I finally get settled in back at home, I'll consider what kind of savings I have. I might do like a small run of a physical release of some sort, like a cassette or a CD or something.
Okay.
But
awesome.
Really, just kind of was an experiment. Just also like an expression of art that I felt like was necessary at this point in my life.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
I really dug that. That's really cool.
Happy to have it out there. It was a very kind of a vulnerable album for me, so I was nervous to release it, but it's been really well received. So
yeah,
it's all good things all around. So,
yeah, it's awesome. Well, Jori, thanks again for joining me.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. It's been awesome.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks. Bye.